Perek Gimel Mishnah Aleph. Mish meto mutar lefanav. Somebody whose dead relative is mutar lefanav, which literally means placed in front of him. But it doesn't mean that you're necessarily, have one of your relatives, that passed away in the same room in front of you. What it means is that you have the responsibility to bury that person as he or she is your relative. Okay? So right now you are osek b'mitzvah. You're busy with the burial of your relative. So if your meto is mutar lefanav, patur mikriyat shema, umin hatefila, umin hatefilin. You are patur from saying kriyat shema, praying amidah, or putting on tefillin. Okay, that's the first halacha. So here we learn a principle, a klal, that you will be tested on. Ha'osek b'mitzvah, patur min mitzvah. If you're busy doing one mitzvah, you are patur from other mitzvot. In this case, you're busy doing the mitzvah of burying a dead person, which is a big chesed. Therefore, you are patur from other mitzvot, kriyat shema, tefillah, and tefillin. Nos'ei hamita v'chilufeihen, v'chilufei chilufeihen. So you have here, in the picture in front of you, you have a picture of nos'ei hamita. Those are, so here in the picture in front of you, you have the people in the middle. Those people are nos'ei hamita. Those people are the people carrying the coffin. And then you have chilufeihen. You have people that are going to take over for them. And then, had the picture continued, you would have another group of people standing to the left, and they'd be chilufeihen, the people that are taking over for the people that are carrying. So basically, they would pass the coffin to the left. Okay? So now, the Mishnah continues and says, Et shelifnei hamita ve'et shelachar hamita. Those people that are in front of the mitah, and those people are the behind. So these people are lifnei, and these people are acharei hamita. Et shelimita tzorach behen. Those people that are still needed for the funeral, right? So the people that are needed for the funeral are piturin. They're patur from kriyat shema. Ve'et she'en mita tzorach behen. And people that are not needed for the funeral, those are these guys here, are chayavin. And as you see in the picture, they're saying kriyat shema. So it's very, very simple. The basic klal is, if you're busy either carrying the coffin, or you're waiting to carry the coffin, you're patur from kriyat shema, because you're osek b'mitzvah. And if you already carried the coffin, you're no longer osek b'mitzvah, because you're done. You did it. So if you're waiting to do the mitzvah or doing the mitzvah, you're patur from kriyat shema. If you already did it, you're chayav in kriyat shema. And then the Mishnah finishes off and says, Elu va'elu. These guys that already carried and these guys that are waiting to carry are piturim from amidah, right? Piturim min tefillah, because tefillah takes a lot more time than kriyat shema. So you might be, these guys in the back here, these guys are chayav in kriyat shema, but they are patur from tefillah. Perek Gimel Mishnah Bet. Kavruat hamet v'chazru. So after they buried the dead person, chazru, they returned to stand on line, as you see in the picture in front of you. Right? They're standing on line number 1, line number 2. Now, the Mishnah says, Im yecholim latchil v'ligmor, if they're able to start kriyat shema and to finish it, ad shelo yagiu lashura, if they're able to start kriyat shema, and they're able to start kriyat shema, the two lines of people are able to start kriyat shema before the avelim yagiu lashura, make it to the shura. This is called the shura because you have two different lines. Yatchilu, then side 1 and side 2 should start kriyat shema. V'im lav, says the Mishnah, and if they cannot start before the Avelim reach the Shura, lo yatchilu, they should not begin. Now, ha'umdim bashura, right? The people standing on line. So we say, hapnimim piturim, the people on the inside. Those are these guys here, right? The pnimim are piturim. The people on the inside are patur from Kriyat Shema. V'hachitzonim, and the guys on the outside, as you see in this picture, they're saying Kriyat Shema, right? Because they are not busy doing the mitzvah of nichum avelim, of saying nice things to these people. Remember, the people on the inside here, they're saying divrei tanchumim to the avelim here in the middle. Mishnah Gimel. Nashim va'avadim uktanim pturim mikriyat shema uminat tefillin. So women and avadim knanim, right, non-Jewish slaves, who when they become a slave of a Jew, they partially convert to Judaism, and they have to do all the mitzvot that a woman has to do. And ktanim, right? And ktanim here we're talking about children that are, it's called, they understand enough to do mitzvot. We're not talking about like 3-year-olds, that don't understand, anything. We're talking about kids that are already 7, 8, 9, and they understand more. So they are patur from Kriyat Shema and Tefillin. They don't have to say Kriyat Shema and put on Tefillin. The reason they don't have to do these is because those are mitzvot aseh shazman garma. These are mitzvot aseh that are connected to time. And we said that women and avadim and ketanim are patur from mitzvot aseh that are connected to time. V'chayavin, however, the Mishnah says that there are 3 types of mitzvot that we would think that they should be patur, but really they're chayav. These are bat tefillah, amidah, mezuzah, and birkat hamazon. The reason women and avadim and ketanim are chayav and tefillah is even though there are certain times when you should pray shacharit or mincha and arvit, still women also need rachamim, right? And because women need rachamei Hashem, therefore they must pray at least once a day. Umazuzah, women also need shmirah, therefore they also need to put on a mezuzah. And birkat hamazon, we might think that because after a person is finished eating a seudah, they have 72 minutes until they can say birkat hamazon. We might say, hey, it's connected to time, right? And we know women don't have to do mitzvot that are connected to time. Still, we learn that women still need to thank Hashem for the food that they received. Perek Gimel Mishnah Daled. Here we're talking about a person that became tameh with a tumah known as keri. So a bal keri meharher belibo ve'eno mevarech. A bal keri, he's allowed to think in his heart certain things, right? He's allowed to think in his head certain tefillot, but others he's not allowed to. So here, the Tana Kama tells us that he is maharher belibo ve'eno mevarech. He could think in his heart, but he may not say any of the brakot, lo lefanea v'lo la'acharea, not in front of Kriyat Shema and not after Kriyat Shema. Meaning, the Baal Keri could think Kriyat Shema in his head, but the brachot before and after Kriyat Shema, he can't even think those because he's tamei and it's inappropriate. V'al hamazon, when it comes to food, mevarech la'acharav, meaning to say he could think birkat hamazon afterwards because he's still tamei. Ve'eno mevarech lefanav, but he's not able to make the brachot like hamotzi or shahakol or whatever. He can't even think those beforehand. That's the Tana Kama. So the Tana Kama says, easy to remember, anything from the Torah, like Birkat HaMazon or Kriyat Shema, you could think. Anything that's midirabanan, like Berachot Kriyat Shema or the brachot that you say before you eat something, those are midirabanan from the rabbis, those you can't even think. Rabbi Yehuda says, Mevarech lifneim lacharehem Rabbi Yehuda says you could not only, do you do it before and after the brachot, you could say everything. You could say, don't just think it. Rabbi Yehuda says you just say it regularly, before the brachot, after Kriyat Shema, before Kriyat Shema. You could say the brachot on food, before, after. Basically, Rabbi Yehuda says you do it regularly. So the Tana Kama says, again, you could only think things that are from the Torah, but you can't even think things from the rabbis. Rabbi Yehuda says you could do everything keragil. Perek Gimel Mishnah Hey. Haya omed batfilah, this guy who is tamei, balkeri, he didn't yet go to the mikveh. Haya omed batfilah, he was standing to pray Amidah. V'nizkar shu balkeri, and he remembered in the middle of his Amidah that he is a balkeri and he's tamei. Lo yafsik, the Mishnah says, don't stop and just close your siddur and walk off. Ela yikatzer, rather the balkeri should say just the end of each beracha of the Amidah until he's finished. Just the Baruch Atah Hashem part. Because as long as he's tamei, it is inappropriate for him to be praying Amidah. Yarad litbol. Now, a second case. Right? That's case number 1 in this Mishnah. Yarad litbol. If he went down to mikveh, in this case, it's like a stream or a lake of some sort, to become tahor. Im yachol la'alot ulitkasot v'likrot. If he's able to get out of the mikveh or this river, ulitkasot, and to cover himself, ulikrot, and to read Kriyat Shema. Ad shelot tenetzachama. Before the sun rises, ya'aleh v'yitkaseh v'yikra. Let him get up, let him cover himself, let him read. V'im lav, but let's say he can't get out in time, right? He sees he has 10 seconds left, until sunrise. And according to this opinion, we saw earlier in Perek Aleph, right, in Mishnah Bet, over there, that Rabbi Eliezer says the latest time to pray Kriyat Shema Shacharit is until sunrise. So apparently that's what we're saying here. If he sees the deadline for Kriyat Shema Shacharit is almost done, Yitkaseh b'mayim v'yikra. He should cover himself with water, and he should say Kriyat Shema just where he is. Right? And I'll explain what that meant is he kicks up some of the sand on the bottom of the lake, right? And then he reads Kriyat Shema. Aval lo yitkaseh, the Mishnah says, but make sure when you cover yourself with water, lo yitkaseh, don't cover yourself. Lo b'mayim hara'im, not with bad water, which means smelly water. V'lo b'mei hamishra, and not with water that is used for soaking, right? And here we said it's soaking flax. And we said the reason is because when they would soak things for flax, whatever, they would use a chemical known as dog doo-doo. Ad sheyatil tochan mayim, until he puts inside of them clean water. So basically, you have to put clean water into the dirty water and dilute it and make it basically clean in order to use it. So then, how far should you distance yourself from these bad types of water, or from urine, or from tzo'ah, right, which is feces, if you want to pray? Arba amot, 4 amot. An amah is about 1.5 feet. It is the average size, is the average distance from a man's elbow to the tip of his middle finger. Then Mishnah Vav, the last Mishnah of the Perek, says, right, Zav shera'a keri, v'nida shepalta shichvat zera, v'hameshamesh shera'ata nida. All these 3 types of people are people that have a big tumah, like a zav, right? They're tameh for 7 days, and then at the end of the 7 days, they have to, do a special procedure. And the nida is also a woman who is tame'ah for 7 days. And the third case is also talking about a nida. All these cases talks about a big tumah together with a small tumah in the middle. So the Tana Kama says if you have a big tumah with a small tumah in the middle, then you have to go tzrichim tevilah. You need tevilah in the mikveh, right? You need to go to the mikveh to get rid of the small tumah, even though you're not going to get rid of the big one just yet. Rabbi Yehuda, poter. Rabbi Yehuda says you don't need to go to the mikveh to get rid of the small tumah. And that is who we do halacha like.